Formatting text in a table in InDesign. So entering text in a table is actually very simple and straightforward. Remember that the tables work like text, so I can't use my selection tool to select, or I'll just get the frame. I need to use my type tool to select the cells in my table. So with the type tool selected, basically I can click and just enter in a specific designer's name, whatever information that I have. So easy as that. You can also do a file and a place to place in information. Now, as a default, you can see that my text is defaulted with the alignment of left and vertically to the top. So we can go ahead and change that formatting if we'd like to. Also, to navigate from cell to cell, I can press my tab key, and that saves you a little bit of time to just press tab. Now if I hold shift tab, I'll back up, if you can watch my cursor going backwards through the table. I also can use my arrow keys to navigate through the table. So a lot of different navigation tools while you're inside of that table. Now to modify text in a table, simple. It's just as though you were doing edits to text in a text box. So I need to select the text in the cell. If I wanted to select everything, I could do an edit and select all. So here I just drag my text here. And now I can use my character panel. If I don't have that up right now, I can go to Window, Type and Tables, Character, and I can choose to do some alterations here. Like I said, just as you would be doing changes to a text box. So very, very simple. My alignments, I can align my text. Now we have both, remember, the horizontal alignment and the vertical alignment. So my horizontal alignment can be done in my paragraph panel, which I can go ahead and open under Window, Type, and Paragraph. So we have our alignment options here, which I can change. Remember that we also in our control panel have some alignments, so we can do our alignments there as well. And that goes along the same quick way of changing my font style, my size, and all of those formatting pieces and components. Now my vertical alignment is a bit different. Remember, that's from top to bottom. So to change the vertical alignment, I can go under my table menu, and I'm going to choose my cell options, and I'm going to choose text. So when I go into this dialog box for my cell options, I see a lot of different specific pieces that I can change. Here is my vertical justification, align, and I'm going to align it either top, center, bottom, or justify it vertically. So if I choose center here, again, I can preview it, make sure that that is going to happen, click OK. You may have noticed that up here in the control panel, that also changed it. So that maybe is a little bit quicker to utilize that shortcut key here on my control panel. Formatting the tables is simple to do, like I said, modifying. Now we also can do our insets. So the inset basically controls how that text is going to be inset on the 4 areas of this cell. We have previously discussed insets on a text frame. It's the same thing within the cell. So again, I want to navigate to my table menu and go to cell options, and again back to text. And we're going to look here for the cell insets. So by default it will be linked or locked, meaning they all will move the same. And for this small amount of text you're not going to really see a change. But we can unlink this and then do an inset different number for each top, bottom, left, and right. If I navigate to an example, this is Brianna's example that she has done of a table, and let's just say I wanted to inset this text some more. I'm going to put my cursor in there, go to table, go to my cell, remember it's the cell options, to text, and here's my insets, and you can see that I can then change this, and you can watch my text move down from the top or up from the bottom. And it's going to change the size of my cell. If you notice what happened, it increased that. One thing you want to be cautious of when you're dealing with text inside a table is the hyphens. Make sure that you don't get a ton of hyphens, and play with those options such as tracking to bump things down, soft returns, so that we don't get a whole bunch of hyphenated words. It's an issue when you have a smaller area for your lines of text. So anyway, the insets, places that we can change that right there in that cell inset. We can, remember, go back and change the number of columns and rows in a table. A couple of places that we can do that. You should always have that table panel open, and we always can go ahead and change, increase or decrease the number of columns and rows here. We also can go to our table menu and go to our table options. Remember, the table options are more of those global features to my table, whereas cell options are for an individual cell. So think of it that way. We do have an insert feature as well, where we can insert a row or a column. So that's an easy way to do that. One other thing, if we want to do some customizations, we can do, the cell sizes here, where we have at least, or we can do an exact amount for our cells, but we also have a drag and drop method. So we can modify by dragging that cell border to the right or to the left. And you can see how I can change that and customize that easily. It's more visual, and maybe we'll be able to fit your content a little easier. We have a distribute feature as well under tables, where we can distribute them evenly. Now we need to select these cells here, table, and here's my distribute rows evenly and distribute columns evenly. So that would make a little bit more of a unified look. So those are some features that will allow us to customize our tables and the content within.